Hi guys, my name's Hannah and I'm the C5 for that. Well, today we are going to change some headlights on Dimond. Now, there is a few myths going around with the C5s that if you've got standard headlights, you can't fit xenons. Because apparently the wiring's different, and so this video is going to be, can we fit xenons to Dimond? I have played around with the computer a couple of weeks ago just to see if there is any options to tell the car if it's got a HD, if it's a standard bulb or if it's xenon bulbs. The only thing I can find is, does it have front fog lights? That's it. No mention of the xenons, and no mention of standard bulbs. So, on that basis, I'm going to fit xenons. So, let's flip the camera around and let's see what we got to work with. So guys, I got my beloved car in the workshop. And yes, I did have a bit of a blowout. I've ordered a new tyres for it. Just waiting for the new tyre to come. There's the bad one. So yeah, I've got to put a new tyre on that, and then bung it on my car. Right. So these are the old headlights. Now, these are original to Dimond. They're standard, they got the H4s and the H7 bulbs. I'm really not used to these bulbs or these headlights. I've been driving Dimond for a while at night, and I just can't get on with these lights. I'm used to xenons. I mean, my green C5, the V6, them cars have got xenons as standard. So yeah, I have bought a nice pair of xenon headlights. Now, as you can see under here, they got this big transformer block, and this what looks like a like a big, I'm not entirely sure what to describe it, but it's a washer jet. So you put water there and it pushes out. But we're going to take these off because we haven't got the cutouts in the bumper. Now, I will say, some of you warriors out there who goes, oh, you can't have xenon lights without having the washers. Apparently the washers need to be part of the xenons. In theory, no, that is wrong, and I will prove the reason why it's wrong. So guys, bear with me 2 minutes. Let me get onto the computer and I'll show you what's what. Okay guys, so I'm now currently in my office, and yes, we've got the C5 wall of whatever you want to call it, experiment. So this is like my place of work. Right, so let's see if we can zoom in a little bit better. Right, now this is a website, it's on a government website. It's called MOT Inspection Manual. Now, for MOT testers, you are aware of this. For those who never be an MOT tester or anything like that, you can still actually read the same manuals as the MOT testers. All you got to do is go to the government.uk website, put in MOT manuals and special notices, and it will come up with this. Now, we are in the headlights section, and what we need to do is go down to which one was it? This one here, compliance with requirements. Right, so it talks about the headlights, about the main beams. This section here is the one we're interested in. Right, so it says, if you can't read it from there, it says existing halogen headlamp units on vehicles first used on or after the 1st of April 1986. must not be converted or to be used with the high intensity discharge, which is HIDs, or light emitting diodes, which is LED bulbs. If such conversions have been done, you must fail the headlight for light source and a lamp not compatible. This does not refer to the complete replacement headlamp units, which may be constructed with HD, the HIDs or the LED light sources. If a complete headlamp unit has been replaced with the unit that was manufactured with the HIDs or LED light sources, it must not be failed for the light source and light lamp not compatible, but it must meet all requirements detailed in section 4 for this manual specific to the type fitted at the time of the test. So in other words, if you had, say, like a standard car and it had standard bulbs, if you were to fit LED bulbs to that light unit without changing the light unit, therefore it would be classed as a fail. If you were to stick those xenon bulbs, I like to call them xenons rather than this HID stuff. If you were to stick them into that light unit, again, that will be a fail. But if you've actually changed the whole entire light unit that comes complete with the HDII or LEDs or xenons, then it'd be perfectly fine. Now, it does say that it needs to meet all other requirements detailed in section 4. Right, okay, so we're going to look into that. So we need to go to 4.1.5. So let's go down 4.1.5, leveling devices. Right, so vehicles fitted with high intensity discharge, xenon bulbs or LED bulbs, dips, beam headlamps must be fitted with a suspension or headlamp self-leveling system. If these systems have been fitted, they must work. Well, what do you reckon, guys? C5s, do they have fully suspension, do they have self-leveling systems? I think so. So that's a tick for the box. Okay, so that is basically, it just says defects. This is what they can fail it onto you. So headlamp leveling device is inoperative. That would be a fail. But because it's a C5, it's fully active anyway. So that's a pass. Right. So the last one we need to go to is the next one, which is 4.1.6, which is headlamp cleaning devices. Now those washers, what can I say? Those washers that we will be removing, and this is where I can remove them. It says you must inspect the vehicles first used on or after the 1st of September 2009, equipped with headlamp washers. Now Dimond is a 2003 plate. Therefore, because it was made before 2019, therefore I do not need headlamp cleaning devices. So if you got a Mark 1 or a Mark 2 C5, which is normally known as a facelift, and those washers that comes out for the headlights, if you get some sort of mechanic or MOT tester saying that's a fail, you can print this off and say, well, actually it's not. It's only a minor, and if it's a minor, it's not classed as a fail. So yeah, it really annoys me when MOT testers claim that it's a fail, and it's not. It's just a minor. At the end of the day, DVSA, which is what we're reading on here, are the main things that you can and can't do. So if you got a mechanic who's failed it on a headlight, and it says on here that it's only a minor, which is pass advise, well, it's called pass advise. So basically you still pass the car, but you advise it, and they failed it. Technically you can get them, call DVSA and go, wait, he's failing my car for nothing. Yeah, and it talks about daytime running apps. We're not really interested in this. So, on those bases, because there is no cutouts in my bumpers, we can get rid of the washers, and because the car's got self-leveling, we can still fit these bulbs. Well, not the bulbs, but the whole light unit. Obviously, the Dimond doesn't have any of this. This is all integrated part of the actual main light unit. So, yeah. Not entirely sure if any of you guys have fitted HDIs to the car or to your cars. If not, please watch this video. We are going to do this myth. So, myth, can you fit HDI, the xenon bulbs to a C5 that's got standard headlights? Yeah, right. The first thing we've got to do is, down on here, there's a bolt that holds just this bumper bit. So it just goes upwards. We need to undo that. Moving across, there's a bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, and another bolt just down on the driver's side. So we've got to take them off, and the bumper will actually move forwards. You don't need to get underneath, you don't need to get anything under there. You just need to pull the bumper forwards a little bit in order to get into the 3 bolts that hold the light unit in. There's one bolt here, there's one bolt there, and there's one on the top just there. So guys, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to pull this bumper off and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, so we come from there. I've removed the bumper. As you can see, she's sitting lovely on the floor. Yeah, I only had to undo the top. I just let the whole thing drop down. Now, I had a slight hiccup, and I will explain. Now, on the xenon bulbs, or the headlight units, you see it's got an extra plug. And I'm thinking, ah, crap. Obviously, Dimond's only got one. She doesn't actually have 2. So, what I've done is I've taken the driver's side and fitted it and plugged it in, and sure enough, it all works. And then it suddenly occurred to me, there's one thing that I didn't look into, and that is, when you're sitting in the driver's seat, you should be able to adjust the headlights. So you've got 1, 2, 3. I think that's actually what that other plug is for. This one here. Now, hear me out on this one. Right, so you've got a mechanical adjustment there. So, it's between the 2 headlights. But on this one, yes, you got a mechanical one, but you also got electrical one as well. Now, I did poke my fingers in there and just double check the wiring, and sure enough, this actually goes to this motor here. So, in theory, you don't actually need this one. You can tuck it away and just forget about it and then just plug it in. But I double checked, right? Got the old laptop out. Yes, I could be watching YouTube channels and things like that. But, it's, yeah. Obviously, this is just I want to tell you guys the right thing to do, and obviously I'm going to fit these regardless, alright? I mean, the ones I took off, they were mechanical, right? So, in theory, I'm not really going to need these. I mean, as long as the lights are set to where they need to set, the car will do everything else. You put any weight in the back, it will self-adjust. So, as long as the beam patterns are perfectly fine, who cares about the single wire? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to quickly put this unit back in again and test. So you guys can actually see the difference between the standard bulb or the xenon bulb. And I might even turn the lights off so you can actually see the proper effect. Right. Before I put the light unit in, I just want to say about these bloody bolts up here. Now the other side came off absolutely fine, nothing wrong with that. This sucker on this side, the nut has seized and it's gone round and round and round. Obviously it snapped the lug off. It's one of them, innit, really. But don't worry, because what you can do is you can put a big washer with a new nut and bolt, so it's going to do the job anyway. I might even put an insert in there if I can find another bolt to go in there. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push the headlight into the hole, and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, now I fitted the headlight. It's looking a bit creamy, you know, dirty. It just wants a good old buff. But this one is the Zenon's, and that one's a standard headlight. So what I'm going to do is put the ignition on, turn the lights on. What do you reckon? Oh, shiny, shiny! And just to give you a bit of a good idea, let's go and switch these lights off. Oh. So, what do you reckon, guys? Do you think the left one is better, or do you think the right one? Comment down below, see which one you think. But let me just switch off my office. So where is it? There's a switch there. Right. Now let's see. So when you switch them off, now I will say when you turn the Xenons on, they get dim and then they get brighter. They also move up and down, but it's only set because of the vehicle. That's off. You only just see it for a split second. It goes dim and then bright. And plus the fact it goes up and down. But, don't know if you guys can see, but there is a bit orangey. There is like white. And yeah. White, orange. Go around this way. Orange, white. Yeah, who cares about that wheels? Let's those wires. Let's just go and get these Zenons in. I love these. Right, guys. So I put everything all back together. Bumpers all back on. God, my days. Yeah. So the question you guys may or may not have is what happens when you go to turn the front fog lights on. Well, there's the front fog light. I'll switch it off, switch it back on. Well, as I'm switching it on and off, it's not doing anything on the outside, and you're probably thinking why. Well, clearly there's an extra bulb being taken out of the equation, but you can disable it. I mean, like I say, guys, when I did experiments on the test rig regards to about looking into fitting these xenon bulbs, like I said, there's an option for front fog lights or no front fog lights. That was it. Nothing to do with has it got standard bulbs or xenons. It doesn't give you that option. The only option was the front fog lights. So if I wanted to, which I probably will do at some point, is I will plug it in, I will tell it that it hasn't got front fog lights, and then that will turn that system off. But yeah, the cars look so much better with Xenons, and I don't like the side lights. They got to go. So I think a trip down to Halfords and I'll get those little LED replacement versions, which is perfectly fine. You know, I know it says in the rules and regulations, but that's only just for high beams or dip beams. The actual side lights you can get away with, so you can replace the side lights with LEDs, and that's what I will do on this. It just makes the car look a little bit better. I mean, now I have got a few questions that I want to find answers for, Not entirely sure if you guys can help. So obviously we know that these headlights came from an exclusive, so it would have had that extra cable. I'm not entirely sure if the same is on the SX, but as we found out through Dimond, not every C5's been wired up. Obviously we know about the electric windows, they are wired up, which is perfect. But when it comes to fit the seats, half the wiring was in. So from the seats to the BSI, that wiring was in. But from the BSI to the ECM, which is underneath the bonnet there, that wire was missing. So it'd be interesting to see what model has that cable. Yeah, I still want to get the roof rails on. That's something I would like to get done. It's something on my bucket list, get some roof rails for her. And what can I say? Still trying to track down a new tailgate. My bodywork guy is gonna, so I've got replacements of the passenger wing and the passenger door. I'm gonna send it to him at some point, I think in about 2 weeks time, and he's gonna spray it the same color as the car. So the car will be with him for a few days while he does it, and then hopefully we get a shiny. Yeah, tyres should be coming hopefully tomorrow, if not Monday, so I can get some tyres done. Yeah, still needed to find a tailgate. Probably wondering what's this. I stuck one of them little reversing cameras on. Unfortunately it sort of was, I didn't realise, but the camera's a bit crap and a bit temperamental. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I will be putting a camera in at some point. Not entirely sure where I'm going to put it. I might get one of them that goes under where the number plate thing is. I haven't decided. I'm getting 1 or 2 questions asked in regards to the number plate. Yes, Dimond I am keeping in my fleet. I'm going to keep it the same as like the white one. You know, both of them cars are keeping in our fleet. The white one is a pure original one, so she's not going to have a private plate, but Dimond will. I've got so many projects on the go that require money. I'm just trying to save up with everything. Not to mention, I bought another car. Jesus Christ, did I say that out loud? Yeah, I bought another C5, so I'm still trying to pay that off. I won't go into any more details with the car. I will do a video at some point when I go to pick it up. So, yeah, another C5. But yeah, that will be, at some point I will do a video when we go to pick it up. But yeah, I've got to pay for that car, I've got to pay for storage. There's so much money, there's so much money going out, it's unreal. Yeah, so what can I say? Guys, I hope you like this sort of video. I would like to think that we possibly say yes to the myth of, yes, you can fit Zenons to a standard car, but I will say, when you do fit them, just take it to an MOT guy who's got one of them beam setter things and double check your lights. Alignments are always important. I will state that obviously what I do is on my neck. If you choose to follow me and do what I do, that's totally up to you. But I will be taking my car to my mate who's an MOT tester just to confirm that the headlights are pointing in the right direction. If they are, then brilliant. Happy days. So yeah, that's the technical stuff. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up. If you wouldn't mind sharing my videos, obviously the channel is slowly growing, which is great news. Welcome to all the new people who just recently signed up to our group. I've got a special car coming in tomorrow, and sadly it's removing a dashboard, but I will go and explain that in the next video. Right guys, take care, see you soon.